Welcome back to the SheBangs Podcast.
I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Anna. Welcome back. If you didn't notice, which you did because I put it in, we have a new intro song. Thanks, George. Mackenzie's boyfriend made that for us, so thank you, George.
It's brilliant.
It is great. Anyway, so we uploaded the first video, but now all 4 of them are up now. Yeah.
We have 4
We are not
up.
backlogged anymore.
No, which means we have to get to work.
Yeah.
Better work, bitch.
Yeah, that's why we didn't post last week? 2 weeks ago. I guess when this is up, it'll be 2
weeks, yeah.
We didn't post like 2 weeks ago because that last episode was a hell of a time to fucking edit because it was me, you, and Ty, and we just screamed the entire episode.
I know.
So that was a lot of work.
When the episode went up last night for us, last week for you guys, I asked Ty, I was like, it's not too yelly, is it? And she was like, no, it's fine.
No, it was really
listened to it, and I was like, oh my god.
That was so different from our other podcasts.
I know.
Because we were so hyped up for some reason.
Because we'd finally uploaded episodes.
Yeah, and we got a lot of feedback from those first episodes, so we were both just really excited. But we don't have Ty today, so maybe it will be less yelly because there won't be 3 bitches trying to talk in one room.
All 3 of us trying to compete to be the loudest voice in the room.
Anyway, so we have a lot. No, do we even have a lot? We have a little planned today.
Yeah, but first updates.
Yeah, we got some updates.
And some corrections. I don't want to say corrections corner, but I'm going to say corrections corner, but I'm blatantly stealing that for My Favorite Murder. In the last episode, I called him Nardward. It's Nardwar.
George corrected you with that one.
Yeah.
He quickly corrected.
So it's Nardwar, not Nardward, but I still think everyone should know who he is because he's hilarious. Mm-hmm. And about the fan fiction. So was it Ty or you that suggested that Jonah writes a fan fiction about George and I?
I don't even know what happened.
Well, I was totally turned off of the subject, and I thought George would side with me. No. He texted me last night and was like, oh my god, yes, it has to happen. Jonah has to write it. It's going to be so hilarious. It's going to be awesome. I was like,
okay, what the heck? Yeah.
Sure. So that'll be interesting, and we'll probably have to read that on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Also, oh my god, so much has happened to me.
Yeah. Tell him, sis.
I've had the worst, kind of month ever because we had reading week, which is supposed to be a relaxing time in your life, and it wasn't for me. That Friday before reading week, I was coming back from the dentist in my little my little Malibu, my 05 Malibu. My little milk. And I got hit. I don't know if I'm really allowed to say anything, but because I haven't heard anything back from
you got
insurance and stuff. But I did. All I'm gonna say, it wasn't my fault. I'm allowed to say that. It was definitely not my fault. And both cars got hit in the front bumpers. So hers was her driver's side and mine was my passenger side. My car was a write-off because the airbags deployed. And do you know how much it is to fucking fix an airbag? It's $1,000 each to fix an airbag. And both of mine went off. So that's why a write-off is when your car is so damaged, you might as well get a new car because it's the damages are worth more than the car. But yeah, it's $1,000 each for one airbag. So yeah, my parents were like, we're not paying that to fix the car because one, we have to fix the front and all in I don't know car talk, all inside. And
I can't help you.
Yeah, all inside, and then the airbags and stuff like that. So she was a write-off, and that's really sad because I love that car so much. It was my little grandma car. But I have a new car now. We're on to new bitches. I'm 17 and I've had 3 cars.
That's
wild.
Insane. You've had, in the span of 1 year, you've had 3 different vehicles.
Because I don't know. I just have bad luck. But I got a new car. It's an 03 Ford Focus.
Snow White.
It's kind of cute.
I love it. It's very cute.
If you guys probably know what like the 2010 Ford Focuses here look like.
Yeah.
Mine is like the British version of that car because England, British, European.
European. Hey, Autumn. European.
British made that car, and and then America was like, oh, we want to make our own version of my car, so then they just started making them here. But yeah, mine's the British version, so it's super tiny.
It's very cute.
And it's a little hatchback. I love it so much, but it took a long process to actually get a car because I was going to get a 2011 Chrysler like Sebring, and it looks like my Malibu. It's just newer and it has like more what'd you call that, more like shebang, I don't know. It has
more like SheBangs.
But I didn't get it because we went to the Kia dealership. Fuck you, Kia in Calgary.
Hey, Kia! Suck a toe!
Me in every episode. Yeah. No, but we went to go look at it and they're like, yeah, this car's fine. It hasn't been through the shop though. Like, why are you putting it out there if it hasn't been through the shop? And then we went through the shop and they're like, oh, small detail. So then we bought it. It was like $2,000. We bought that. It's on my mom's credit card. And then the mechanics called Kia and were like, don't sell it to those people. And it was 6 hours later. We already bought the car. And it took 5 days for them to give us our money back.
Jesus!
Because they shredded the papers right after.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. It was really sketchy.
Fuck you, Kia, Calgary!
Don't go there.
Don't. Oh my God.
It was, like car dealership men, how they're like, we're on your side. We'll get you those deals. Like,
my brother-in-law is a car salesman.
Sorry, but like he was very.
Don't apologize.
No, but he was just so like he was trying to like act like he was helping, but he was not helping in the slightest. But yeah, then we went to Didsbury, which for you Albertan folk, it's like an hour away from Calgary. And we went to go look at this small like used car dealership, and there's like Mercedes and like Teslas, and at the very, very back was my Ford Focus. Aww. And I sat in it and I was like, yes, this is my bitch. This is my wheels. Anyway, we got that, and it's literally a perfect car. It has remote start, which I've never had that before. Light bulbs.
2003? Remote start? That's great.
Because you can get it added on.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway.
I don't know anything about cars, so...
That's my life right now.
That's great.
I know. And... yeah, so what's going on in Mackenzie town? It was a dank morning in Spideropolis.
Been busy with school. Not a lot. I walked into bio today, and I was a little bit late. I just came in right after the bell, and my bio teacher and Sam were talking about something, and then I sat down, and then my bio teacher was like, yeah, so if like she dyed her hair blonde and said the F-bomb every second word, then it would be her. And Sam was like, oh wow, crazy. And then I was like, what are you guys talking about? And they were like, oh, we're talking about you. And I was like, what's going on? And they're like, and so a character in Ozark called Ruth apparently reminds my bio teacher of me a lot. So now I have to watch Ozark to see if she reminds me of me.
It's true.
He was like, yeah, the mannerisms completely the same. And I was like, what does she remind me of? And then it hit me, oh, Mackenzie. And just, like I sit in the very front of bio, and that's what I want to do after school. So like I'm like, wow, I'm kind of a teacher's pet. In
oh my
bio.
Goodness, yeah.
But yeah, I love bio. It's great. And I thought that was really awesome. we were gonna do Mad Libs.
Oh my god, yeah.
We'll
probably save that for another episode. But...
Yeah, copy Cody and Noelle.
I got this idea from Niall because he was like, oh, like, are you into, like, Reddit at all? And I was like, no, like, I hear about it, obviously, but I haven't, like, looked at it. And he showed me what it is, and then he showed me, like, this story about, like...
I love Reddit.
Yeah.
It's great.
This guy that has lived with his parents his entire life, and then the cops came to his door, and he found out that those weren't his real parents, and he was kidnapped, but he never knew,
What?
and, like, I was like, wow, we need this for the podcast, so thank you, Niall.
Yeah.
So we picked out a couple stories.
Scary stories.
Oh! Do you want to do Mackenzie's unpopular opinion first?
Fuck yeah,
Or...
I want to do Mackenzie's unpopular opinion. I don't even know if it's unpopular. I think it is, because I see this like, everywhere, and I hate it. It's so ugly. Okay. I'm just gonna say it. Mm-hmm. Chevron is the worst pattern of all.
Like the stripes. Oh, the black white, and
no,
then it's like the zigzag.
The zigzag stripes. Disgusting. I hate it. I don't know why people still use it in, like, interior design. It's bloody awful. It's terrible. It's disgusting.
But, like, as, like, an accent wall, do you think that would be cute?
No, it's not cute. It's dumb. It reminds me of, like, 12-year-olds who think they have a fashion sense, but they don't.
Yeah. Or, like, young moms decorating their home.
Young white moms who name their kids, like, Kaylin with too many Y's.
Oh my god!
That's the chevron pattern to me, and I hate it.
Honestly, kind of agree.
Good.
I don't wear chevron.
No, because you shouldn't. No one should.
I don't even think. I have not seen a chevron pattern since 2013.
Well, it's still out there, and it shouldn't be.
God. Anyway, back to Reddit.
Yeah, so we're gonna read some scary stories, I guess, like kind of like campfire stories, and yeah, I don't really know why, just because we want to.
It's a little bit.
And this is our podcast, and not yours.
There you go, Graham.
Hey, Graham, if you're
in the
listening.
Comments of our first video, Graham said that we should do the Trixie and Katya intro,
yeah.
Which obviously we're not, because we're not ripping off Katya and Trixie at all.
Yeah.
No, not us. But Mackenzie has a couple stories.
Yeah.
Are they shorter stories, or they're like...
Well, I have one that's, like, decent. It's not, like, super long. And then another one which is shorter. So I'll do... Hold on.
We thought this would be kind of a different mix into our podcast, because I feel like most of our podcast so far has been very, like, memey and, like, screamy.
We are very screamy. This is a podcast you don't listen to fall asleep to.
There we go.
You don't listen to fall asleep to? Does that make any sense?
Tylen, like, corrected in the last episode, but I cut it out, so, like...
Oh!
Sorry, Ty. She said, like... I didn't, like, cut out, like, just Ty, but I cut out, like, the whole us talking about it, because you literally could not understand us, because we were, like, talking over each other and screaming. It is so hard to edit us.
Yeah.
We're both drama kids that want attention all the time, so we, like, talk over each other and yell. So, in drama class, I don't remember was this Ty or something? I don't even know. Somebody was like, I don't know why I keep tapping that. Someone was like, what happens when Mackenzie runs out of unpopular opinions? And I was like, the podcast ends. That's what we're here for. Obviously. No. Mackenzie will never run out.
So I found one. I found it. I found the first one. Yes, I won't run out. I have a list. It's getting sparse. I'll just have to add to it. Okay, so this was a response. Someone asked, Reddit, what are your scariest campfire stories? If you don't like scary stories, then don't listen.
Get the hell out.
Get the hell out of here. Okay. Oh, my favorite one, this person said, Vertigo 21125 on Reddit. A hiker was making his way through the dense woods of a moonlit forest, as he'd done many times before. The loosely packed dirt of a trail not yet blazed gave way under his boots as he ventured late into the night. It was far past midnight by this point, and the hiker desperately needed to sleep. The man knelt down and shrugged off his backpack, preparing to set up his tent, until he took a note of a light somewhere afar in the distance. With curiosity piqued, he donned his backpack. With curiosity piqued, he donned his pack once more to discover the source of the light. As he approached the off-ending bulb, he began to notice that it wasn't a light itself, but an entire cottage, lit up somewhere dimly in the dead of the night. Manners be damned, the hiker decided that he'd ask the owners of the cottage for some lodging for the night. After all, the tent could be awfully uncomfortable from time to time. However, after several minutes of bare knuckles rapping against solid oak, not a soul answered his call. Excuse me. He continued to knock and knock and knock, hoping that someone was home to shelter him. After a few bouts of this, the man pursed his lips, quickly making a decision of ethics to sleep outside, or intrude without invasion. What they don't know won't hurt him. The man decided, testing the lock to see if breaking and entering was in order. To his surprise, the door gave way instantly, and the hinges eerily creaked as he made himself at home in the cottage. The cottage was simple enough. There was a small kitchen that was attached to a living room which held nothing but a pull-out couch. It was fairly standard, nothing fancy, but it was better than a tent. The only thing that the hiker wasn't comfortable with was an odd sort of collection that the occupant of the cottage had. Some sort of painting collection of disfigured faces with malicious expressions that lined the walls of the room. Each canvas seemed to glare at the man with personal hatred and malice that he'd ever experienced before. After a few moments of curious staring and cold shivers, the man turned away from the art and tucked himself into bed for a night's rest. After a few hours of abysmal sleep, nice use of the word abysmal, dude. The hiker rose with an uncomfortable feeling. He felt uneasy and stood to his feet to gather his belongings before setting off again as quickly as possible. As he packed his bedroll back into his pack, he stared again at the wall once more to gaze upon the odd paintings that he'd seen the night before. His heart stopped cold as he realized they were only windows.
Oh my god.
Bum, bum, bum. That's the end of the story. Okay, do you want to read yours now?
Yeah, mine's kind of long, but like...
my second one is longer.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is called Crisco the Clown.
I love Crisco.
Y'all.
I love Crisco. It's great for cooking anything. I put it in my chocolate chip cookies. I put like half. Oh, here's Mackenzie's baking corner. In my chocolate chip cookies, I use half butter and half Crisco. It makes them like all melty and kind of like Subway cookies.
Yum.
Yeah,
like soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is called Crisco the Clown. I have to like breathe because I have anxiety about reading.
Why are we doing this?
Because this is a way to get away from my fear, Mackenzie.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know how to pronounce this though. The first letter.
Let me see.
It's colorophobia, right? It's K.
Colorful. I don't know. I guess the fear of clowns.
Yeah. It's okay. I have colorophobia, which is a fear of clowns. I hate their bright colored faces against the bright white background. Still to this day, 40
John
years
Wayne
old.
Gacy was a clown, right? Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was the serial killer that like hid bodies in his house, but he was also like a party clown. I think.
Side note. So like, does anyone remember in like 2017 when clowns were running loose?
Yeah, like what the hell was that? There were clowns in High River. Like people noticed them.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, this is dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Like this is stupid. People are just
overreacting.
But inside I was like,
Oh my god,
this is kind of scary.
I remember walking home from like Dory's all the time, and we'd be on the phone, and I'd be like running home because I was scared of the clowns. But yeah, that was crazy. And like on the news, there was this clown that was like pissed off about it because he's like, this is a serious career. I'm gonna restart this.
Okay.
I have colorophobia, which is a fear of clowns. I hate their brightly colored faces against the bright white background. Still to this day, at 40 years old, I cannot stand to look at a clown. They give me a sense of dread and unease. Your mom just texted you.
Oh.
It all started 10 years ago when Crisco the clown came to my birthday party. Something about him was just not right.
Wait, a 30-year-old had... Oh, was she 10?
Yeah, she was 10.
Oh, I thought you said 10 years ago.
No.
Not 10 years old?
She's 40, and it happened when she was 10.
Okay. I thought you said 10 years ago.
No.
Like, yeah,
Atta girl.
had a clown at her 30th birthday party? Okay.
I just turned 10, Mackenzie.
Yeah.
And my parents gave me Star Wars themed birthday party. I think it says a guy, right?
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway.
I want a Star Wars themed birthday party. For my 18th, we should do a Star Wars theme.
It was held outside in the backyard. All I wanted for that year for my birthday was a Super Star Destroyer, which was Darth Vader's ship. I always rooted for the bad guy in the movies.
Ooh, okay.
I had all my little friends at the party. It was perfect. We had a nice big chocolate birthday cake, complete with little Star Wars figurines all on top of the cake. By the time we sang happy birthday, they were all toppled over on my friend Brad. He was mischievous, one of the bunch, and anyway, this is about Brad. I don't care. Then came in Crisco. He looked like an amateur clown. He had a bright yellow curly wig on. His lips were red. His eyes had big blue smudge circles around underneath them. His white pasty makeup was smeared up. Oh, wait.
Leave that in. Oh my god.
His white pasty makeup was smeared off. He wore a purple velvet. Oh no.
Oh my god, velvet.
He wore a purple velvet jacket and blue and white striped pants. He looked like he was in his pajamas. The odd thing about this clown was that he had one lazy eye. His left eye would wander about on its own. That made a few of the kids scream. He did not speak at all. He just made a few animal balloons. He just made a few animal balloons. Hannibal balloons. He just made a few Okay, let me restart this. He did not speak at all. He just made a few animal balloons for us as he sat in the chair and smiled a little. He didn't dance like the other clowns did. I didn't think my friend knew what to make of him. He didn't have the big clown shoes, just a pair of old-looking black tie-up boots.
Oh.
When it was time to open presents, I was so thrilled my parents got me the Super Star Destroyer.
Yay.
I couldn't contain myself, and I started running around the yard with it. I looked back at Crisco the clown, and he was just sat there smiling at me. Mom and Dad were yelling at me to come back and finish opening my gifts, but I didn't care. I was having the time of my life. Later that night, I went up to my room. I washed up and got ready for bed. I noticed that my pillow on my bed was out of place. I began to readjust. I noticed a small red box with a tiny gold bow. Oh, a surprise present, I thought. I figured my mom and dad snuck another one in on me. I opened the box, expecting a really cool treasure, maybe an antique coin. Mom knew I collected those. In the box was a white piece of paper. The note looked like it was written in red ink. It read, "I have a really cool new limited edition Darth Vader you might like. He will fit well in your new Super Star Destroyer. Come check it out if you're interested. Keep this a secret." There was an address written on the back that read 334 Maple Street. That street was only 2 streets over from my house. Brian and I rode our bikes that way quite a few times. I felt a squeamish feeling in the pit of my stomach. This was not an extra present from my mom and dad. It really gave me the creeps. I hid the note under my bed until I could think of what to do. Maybe my sneaky friend Brad did this to scare me. Or maybe... No, I don't think that stupid clown would have done this. I went to bed that night, my imagination going wild. The wheels were turning in my brain. I wouldn't mind having the limited edition Darth Vader. It was very expensive, and I knew I could never get one. Not ever. So I chose to think about it for a while. The next day at school, I was super tired, blah, blah, blah. I was thinking about what happened. A few days later, I came home from school and my mom made spaghetti. It was about 4:30. We all ate at the table and my dad turned on the TV. I peered into the living room, glancing at the TV, and that's when I heard it. A little girl went missing in the town of Vernonville. Her parents saw her the day of her birthday riding her bike around the neighborhood. She is 9 years old, long blonde hair, blue eyes, and her name is Elizabeth. She was last seen wearing a jean skirt and a pink and yellow striped t-shirt. If you have any information, please contact the Vernonville police. I was trying to put all of this together in my 10-year-old brain. My mom felt bad for the little girl and hoped they would find her soon. She said whoever took her probably was watching for her a long time and lived in the area. I wanted to tell my mom about the note, but I also wanted that Darth Vader really bad. And I knew if I told her, she would forbid me to going to some unknown address by myself. The next day, I decided to be brave. Like an idiot, I rode my bike right out to Maple Street. I'd found it, 334 Maple Street. I decided I wouldn't go up to the house. I would just look at it from a distance. And then, if it looked safe, I would go knock. Besides, there were neighbors all around, so nothing could possibly happen to me, right?
Oh, no, kid, no. Yeah. It's okay, though, because they're 40 now.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
They survived.
They survived.
It was a little white old house, nothing fancy. It looked pretty, desolated.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. It looked pretty desolated. And
or desolate?
Desolate? Yeah. It looked pretty desolate. And I realized why. It was empty. Or so I thought it was. I thought I saw something peeking through the blinds staring right back at me. Okay,
Nice.
This is too creepy. I decided to turn around. I listened to my gut feeling in my stomach that day. Luckily, that choice probably saved my life. About a week later, there was a knock on my door. It was our neighbors, and they asked to speak to my parents outside. I heard the bad news through the crack of the door. There was a smell coming from 334 Maple Street. It was supposed to be an old house up for sale. The neighbors started complaining of a suspicious odor when they were walking their dogs. They knew no one was living there. The police were called in and investigated the suspicious smell.
I think I know where this is going.
They found her body.
Yeah.
She was strangled to death. As they investigated, the crime scene was... The only evidence left behind were beer cans and rotten food. There was no one in the house left but her, the poor girl. They did find a note in her pocket, and it said, "Keep this a secret. I have the limited edition Malibu Barbie that you might be interested in. I know you just got a big Barbie house for your birthday. I thought this would be a nice addition. Just ride your bike over to 334 Maple Street and pick it up." I was in shock. I felt very guilty for not telling my parents about this note. It had to been Crisco. He knew what she got for her birthday. He must have been there. Oh my god, he was in my room. It could have been me.
That's a story?
That's a story.
Oh my god. Is that a true story?
I don't know. It was just in, like, horror stories in Reddit, but...
Oh, fuck.
There's an unknown writer.
Ooh. Who was the Redditor that posted that?
The Redditor?
Yeah, the...
It's just, you, unknown _writer _00.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so...
Alright, so I have another one. It's not as long as Crisco. It's called Never Read the Tale of Two Sisters. This is by the Unread Tome. I have to tell you about Tabitha and Beatrice, two sisters, blood relatives, that grew apart in the worst possible way. We hear a lot about how nice it is to be a twin. Someone may spring in for you for a school test, or the peace of mind that there is one other person in the world that will understand you. That's more than many people have, after all. But Tabitha and Beatrice were no such twins. They had a malice between them. Oh, another... Hey, both of my stories have the word malice in it. Okay.
Literally the difference between the dirty fanfiction and this. Not dirty fanfiction. The difference between the fanfiction we read.
Oh my god, we're kind of really messy right now. What I was trying to say is the difference between the fanfiction we read and what we're reading now is very different.
Okay, the vocabulary.
The vocabulary.
Yes, girls.
But Tabitha and Beatrice were no such twins. They had a malice between them, or rather, Tabitha had a malice towards Beatrice. Tabitha was social, outgoing, sweet, and charming. She dressed nice and grew up in her early childhood and adolescence, hitting all the academic and social benchmarks that one would expect and welcome from a child. And truth be told, she and Beatrice were quite close. In those early years, they were two peas in a pod. They got on well with one another, played together constantly, interacted the way one might expect two best friends to interact. But those difficult years, those years of late adolescence where every part of your being yearns to be unique, the relationship disintegrated. Tabitha, by far the more popular twin, started to resent the idea that she was so associated with Beatrice. It was a slow process, but over years, Tabitha and Beatrice's time together filled more and more with silences. At first, awkward silences, then aggressive silences, and ultimately to hate-filled silences. And sadly for Beatrice, the hate went only one way.
Oh.
Beatrice tried to... I know, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Beatrice tried at every juncture to repair the relationship. She tried to talk to Tabitha, to console her, to find a way to repair a relationship that was spinning out of control. But Tabitha bellowed back. I'm making fun of you and I can't even read the word bellowed. Tabitha bellowed back at her, mere inches from her face, in anger and belligerent tones with each attempt. "You're not me!" she would scream. She would have tirades that went on for what felt like hours against Beatrice. She would chastise her for always copying Tabitha's style, for always wearing the same outfits, going out to the same restaurants, in general for what Tabitha saw as a smothering, intrusive existence that Beatrice was either too stupid or too stubborn to relent from. "I'm your sister," Beatrice would respond over and over again. "Your twin. We have to make this work." But Tabitha paid no mind. She'd met a man by that time, James. He was a sweet guy who she'd known in high school, and they'd gone on several dates together. Even there, Tabitha would chastise Beatrice constantly, accusing her of trying to steal James from her. "He's mine, you selfish bitch!" she should shout, rattling Beatrice's eardrums. "He's mine, and he'll never be yours." It was an unfortunate, terrible situation. Tabitha felt particularly stalked by Beatrice, and Beatrice attempted to resolve it in many ways, even suggesting they see a therapist. But while Tabitha was... This grammar is terrible. But while Tabitha was capable of being outwardly sweet and charming, when the two of them found themselves alone, which was quite often, as even young adults they still lived together, Tabitha would morph into a complete monster. This all came to a head when the sisters turned 23, and James, in a moment of pure shock to Tabitha, informed her that while he did want to get married, he loved Beatrice as well.
Ooh.
The plight was too much for Tabitha to register.
The tea was too strong.
And she rushed home and confronted Beatrice, and a fight ensued. The two sisters punched, scratched, kicked, and tumbled across the living room. They were quite evenly matched. It turned out... I don't like how this was written. They were quite evenly matched, it turned out, and with each passing second were dealing out damage to each other. They clawed at each other's faces, and Beatrice, who for her part was the mellow one of the two, grew fierce as attacks kept coming. As they tumbled near the coffee table, she grabbed up at a large stone sphere candle holder and clutched it in her hands. I don't want to say this word, but I'm gonna say it. "You're a cunt!" Tabitha kept screaming, clawing away at her repeatedly with her hands. Beatrice, who until that point had second-guessed whether she would resort to such extreme measures, crashed the sphere down on Tabitha's skull, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 47.
Oh.
Specifically 47.
Oh my god.
What was left of Tabitha at the end was little more than a stump, bleeding badly with each passing minute. The commotion was so bad that the neighbors came and rushed Beatrice to the hospital. She passed out on the way there, but after a slew of surgeries and nearly a full month of intensive care, Beatrice survived and flourished. And so, after 20 years, a sibling rivalry. And so, after... Fuck! And so, after 23 years, a sibling rivalry turned into a murder, and the two Siamese twins were separated at last.
Oh.
Boom! Mic drop. Yeah, they were Siamese twins.
God.
Yeah.
That's good. That's crazy.
There's a reader's note, or an author's note. Dear readers, here you are again, you ignorant bunch. Why you torture yourself so with these stories is beyond comprehension, but you will hear no objection from me. Your viewership gives me great strength, and if that's the behest of your own destruction, then all the better, I say. I should warn that Tabitha and Beatrice have long since passed, but the spirit of their jealousy and raging feud between them lives on. It exists in any two humans so debased by their lower inclinations that they feel the need to strive for conflict over compromise. You have no doubt felt yourself in the clutches before, but only fleetingly. You can kiss those days goodbye. Warmest regards, Reginald. Thanks, Reginald. That was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We should do more, like, maybe different themed Reddit
Yeah,
videos.
yeah, definitely. So, Sam texted me last night when the podcast went up, and he was like, you didn't read the Shawn Mendes one that I found, so you're gonna have to do a part 2 of the fan fiction, because you guys have to read it.
Oh, no.
So, I don't know, it might happen.
Maybe. I literally... You know when you, like, read, like, Shakespeare and, like, do stuff in drama? Mm-hmm. Not drama, English. When you, like, read Shakespeare and, like, you do plays. And
yeah, we're reading Hamlet right now.
That is my worst fear. I hate doing it.
Reading it out loud?
I'm a drama kid. I love acting and doing stuff like that. But there's something about being in an English room with a bunch of kids that aren't theater kids.
Oh, yeah.
That stresses me out.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
also, I can't read. I genuinely can't read because when I'm reading myself, I can obviously, like, read. Yeah. But, like, if I'm reading out loud, I skip words and try to skim over things to read faster. And, yeah, it just doesn't work for me because I already have a speech impediment. So, like...
We're doing Hamlet right now in English, and we're not reading it out loud. We're watching the movie along with it. And
so
I think it's great. Do you read,
like, a chapter and then you watch it?
Well, you know, like, it's acts, and then there's scenes in the acts.
Okay.
But we're, like, watching it along. We're not reading it out loud at all.
Oh, so you're just reading along beside to the movie?
Yeah.
That's good!
I know, right?
I love
because Hamlet is Shakespeare's longest play. Mm-hmm. So Laird was like, yo, we're not gonna read it out loud because it's...
Did I read Hamlet? I think I read Hamlet.
What? Did you?
In grade 11, I'm pretty sure I read Hamlet.
No, that's Macbeth. Macbeth.
Oh! Yeah, because I was like, is Hamlet good?
Yeah, I like it.
Do you like Shakespeare?
I love Shakespeare.
I love Shakespeare, too.
Oh, I mean, yes! High five!
I mean, I, like, didn't really... Because I was gone a very big chunk of last year. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really read Macbeth. So I was there for maybe, like, the beginning and then the end. And then I got filled in. Yeah. What happened in the middle, so I wasn't really there. But, like, I am so basic. But, like, Romeo and Juliet was so good.
I know,
it's
right?
So good.
I love Romeo and Juliet. It's so dumb and overdramatic. And, like, the concept is terrible. Mm-hmm. But I think it's
cute.
Advice.
Yeah.
It's advice. Like, don't be so hasty in relationships and... you know, think before you do. And that's a lot of and what Shakespeare's tragedies are about. Yeah. But in Hamlet, you don't overthink before you do because that's all he does is procrastinate.
Oh yeah, in the musical I have a Hamlet line. That's why I'm thinking about that. Yeah. But in Romeo and Juliet, that it's crazy to think that whole book basically happened in a span of like a week.
Not even, like 4 days. Yeah.
Like, that's
the play
crazy.
takes place over 4 days.
Well, I don't even remember. I need to watch it again. Do you guys like the Leonardo DiCaprio?
Didn't I talk about? Oh my god.
I love it.
Wait, hold on.
Everyone thinks it's trash. I love it.
That was one of my unpopular opinions.
Really?
I'm gonna have another special bonus unpopular opinion. The Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes is one of my all-time favorite movies. People know this about me. I've talked about it before. I just love that movie with all of my heart. The acting is superb. The cinematography is gorgeous. And it's Romeo and Juliet. And
it's Leonardo DiCaprio. It's
like,
all you would want in a movie.
It's 90s, but they're still using the Shakespearean language, and I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
And people think it's weird, but I love it because it's so weird.
Who was Romeo's cousin again? It was like...
Mercutio?
Yeah, he was dressed as a woman.
He did drag!
Yeah, which is so cool. I thought that was really funny. Also, that scene in the Leonardo DiCaprio version where he meets Juliet... with the whole
fish tank. That is like
so
one
cute.
of the most iconic romantic scenes ever. Like, it was brilliant, so amazing, mwah, perfect. And one of my favorite comedians, John Mulaney, he and his wife dressed up as the knight and angel, like Romeo and Juliet one time for Halloween, and I thought it was so cute. I love John Mulaney. He's hilarious.
I don't even know, but like that whole scene where their faces are pressed up to the fish tank.
God!
And don't they kiss like through the glass? Or,
No.
Something happens. I don't even know. They were looking at each other.
Yeah, they like look at each other and then they like come out and then they like kiss in the elevator and the music swells and and the music's really good too.
I've seen that scene so many times.
I
watch a movie and then I replay it.
I have the movie on VHS.
That's everything.
I know.
We used to have a VHS player, but she is dead. She's no longer with us.
Deceased. Goodbye. Thank you, next.
We watched that in English class.
Yeah, I watched it in English as well. In grade 10.
That wasn't the first time I watched it. I think I watched it with Katie, but I wasn't into Leonardo DiCaprio at that time. But was it in grade 10 then when we did that? Yeah. I was going through a hardcore Leonardo DiCaprio phase. Like, I watched Titanic like 20 times, and I watched like freaking Wolf on Wall Street. And,
Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah. That movie's great, yeah.
And like a bunch of his movies. Like, I don't even remember, but I watched a bunch of his movies, and
have you seen The Island?
Yes, when they go to
Thailand
and they go to that, and they're swimming away from the shark and like this sounds so scrambled for people who haven't seen that.
It's okay. It's not the best.
No, it's
movie.
not the best.
Have you seen Catch Me If You Can?
Is it one where he's in the sailor?
One with Tom Hanks. Yes, not a sailor. He's a pilot.
I've seen the movie poster, but I haven't seen.
Oh, it's so good. It's really good.
Yeah. He's great. I love him. Young Leonardo DiCaprio. There's also that movie, I forget what it's called, but...
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh my god, he's in that too! He plays like the autistic kid. He does so well! Yeah! He is a phenomenal actor.
Basketball Diaries, where he's a junkie.
There's this one that recently came out, and it was him and... Who played... Who played the girl in Titanic?
Kate Winslet.
And
He and Kate Winslet? They were in another movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that, and that's
good?
That's such a good movie. I have to find what the title is.
Yeah, search it up. But you were saying about how you weren't into Romeo and Juliet when you watched it the first time, but then because you were obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio, you watched it in English and you were like, oh my god!
Yeah. No, I liked Leonardo DiCaprio, and I liked the movie, but I wasn't so into it. But when we watched it in the English class, I was so fucking into it.
Yeah. I remember...
Wait, is the movie we're just talking about the beach? The Great Gatsby too.
Not The Island. Yeah. The Great Gatsby. Oh my god, I love it also because it's Baz Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann and Leonardo DiCaprio together. Oh, dream team.
Revolutionary Road.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Kate Winslet and...
Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Not Titanic.
No, they did another movie.
Yeah.
In, like, their 40s, and it's really fucking cute. And everyone should watch it, y'all.
Okay.
It's really sad, and it really fucked me up.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to talk about it, because you should watch it.
Yes. Okay. I watched Romeo. It's like Romeo. It's... The whole title is William Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet. The first time I watched it was in the 8th grade.
Wait,
that's when
what version are you talking about?
The one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
I watched it in the 8th grade for the first time, and that's when I was like, oh my god, young Leonardo DiCaprio is the most perfect thing in the world.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yo, this movie's crazy good.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to watch it. Has everyone seen it? I hope
Hopefully,
so.
Yeah. If you're in English, I would assume so, but...
And then I remember, like, getting to English in grade 10 and being like, yes, we're doing Romeo and Juliet. I get to rewatch one of my favorite movies, and I get to, like, nerd out about Shakespeare, and that movie got me into Shakespeare, and I love Shakespeare.
I love Shakespeare because of Romeo and Juliet, too.
Yeah.
You
it was
14
set,
years. I don't
set
even know.
in Verona in, like, the 1500s.
Oh!
That's when Romeo and Juliet's
Yeah, that makes sense.
And... But the
you
film
watch
came
that
out in the
version?
60s. The Zeffirelli version?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've also seen the black and white version that came out in the 30s.
There's another one that came out, too, that has, like...
Yeah, I watched the first 20 minutes and I was like,
good.
no, hunty.
He was in my favorite movie of all time, The Blue Lagoon. But I don't like there's a Return to the Blue Lagoon, which is on Netflix, and it's it was like made in 2014. Have you seen any of those movies?
No.
It's like
Blue Lagoon, is that the one with Brooke Shields?
Yes. Oh my god, that's the one that I like. Brooke Shields and Christopher Atkins. Okay. My mom had the biggest crush on Christopher Atkins, but yeah, they go to they get on an island when they're very young, and they learn how to survive on this island because they like lost their parents in a shipwreck. And they like learn about like sex and relationships and love on their own without being away from civilization, which is crazy. But it's a really good movie. That's my favorite movie of all time. Like Brooke Shields and Christopher Atkins. But they made another one, Return to the Blue. There's the 80s.
I guess it would be the 80s or the 90s.
Brooke Shields is, oh my god, she's like my mom's age. Isn't she?
Yeah.
So, it would be like the 80s when that one was made.
Blue Lagoon came out in 1980.
Yeah, no, okay.
Blue Lagoon came out in 1980.
There's another one that came out in 1990 then. And it was... So, like, in the first one, those two teenagers that learn about love, Brooke Shields and Christopher Atkins...
They have 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I love it. But they have a kid.
Blue Lagoon, The Awakening...
Is that the next one?
That's 2000 and...
Return to the Blue Lagoon. And then The Awakening is the newest version on Netflix. But Return to the Blue Lagoon was trash. Like, the 90s version.
Yeah.
It was just like... So, in the first one, they have...
Is that... Mila Jovovich. She plays...
Oh, yeah. The blonde one with the blue, like the really blue eyes, and the new one? Or like...
No.
Oh,
in the 1991 version.
I don't know.
Yeah, she plays, I forget her name, but this is gonna sound really bad, but in one of my favorite movies, The Fifth Element, she plays Lilu. She plays Lilu in The Fifth Element.
I've never seen it.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Everyone, watch it. I like weird movies. If you can't tell, I love weird movies.
I love weird movies, too.
The Fifth Element.
Have you ever watched...
Space. Bruce Willis.
Have you ever watched American Beauty? It's the one with...
Yes.
Do you like it?
I watched it and I was like, this is an interesting commentary on, like, American life. Yeah. I get why it was made. But
it was crazy, but also that actor is...
Kevin Spacey.
There's someone that was supposed to... Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know. Someone was supposed to play... You know the blonde girl that, like, Kevin Spacey has a crush on in that movie? Kevin Spacey plays, like, an old, like...
A dad.
Married, like, a married man. and he is attracted to his daughter's, like,
best friend.
Yeah.
It's not best friend, like,
they're weird friends,
yeah.
yeah. But he's attracted to her friend
he
anyway.
gets, like, obsessed with her.
But, yeah, someone was supposed to play that part. A really, like, famous actress was supposed to do that part, but she turned it down because she didn't want Kevin Spacey to
Well,
kiss
fair
her.
enough, because Kevin Spacey is a sex offender.
Yeah, no. He's so crazy.
And a pedophile,
yeah, no,
so...
I don't like Kevin Spacey.
No!
Watching that
He's
movie,
a great actor, but, like... Fuck! Why'd you have to do that to us?
Yeah.
You know he had to do it to us.
Yeah.
But he's such a great actor. Can't think of the movie I'm thinking of, but he's really good in that. He's in Baby Driver. Baby Driver? Yeah. He's like the head like boss. You know, with Ansel Elgort, where he drives the car and listens to the music. Oh my god,
I don't remember that. Also, that's the one that plays, like, young Donna. I love her so much. Anyway.
Lily James.
Yeah.
There's a movie coming out. It's called Yesterday. It's coming out this summer, and it's about this guy who is a struggling, like, singer-songwriter, and he gets in a bike accident, and he wakes up in a world where the Beatles never happened, and he starts, like, playing Beatles music, and everyone's like, when did you write that? Oh my god, that's amazing. He's like, I didn't write that. Like, the Beatles did. The Who? And Lily James is in it, and she stole my hairstyle! She stole it! She took it! From me!
That sounds really interesting, though.
I don't know how I feel about it.
No?
Because I love the Beatles way too much. So... I mean, I might go and see it, but who knows? I don't know.
Going back to the creepy, the actors, I remember I watched this on a Shane Dawson episode, but there is, an actor that played the mirror in, Sweet Life on Deck. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And
the mirror.
It was London's mirror that, like, kind of talked back to it.
Yeah.
He was a sex offender.
No.
Yeah, he...
No!
Like a child sex offender. And he got that part after...
Well, Mr. Mosby was in jail for, he was in prison for manslaughter.
Oh my god!
You didn't know that?
What?
Yeah, the actor who played Mr. Mosby.
Who did he kill?
No, manslaughter is when you accidentally kill someone.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Did he run someone over?
I guess so. Who knows?
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Whoa.
The person that played the mirror was a child sex offender, and he got that role after he went to jail for it and everything.
Weird, but it was just his voice, right?
Yeah, it was just a voice, so he wasn't really. But the way he talks to, like,
London. Yeah. Disney, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I don't. Ooh.
Well, that was, like, our tangent on movies.
Oh my god, oh my god. We came a long way from Reddit.
Yeah. Sex offenders. From Siamese twins
Romeo and Juliet
to sex offenders. This has been the SheBangs Podcast.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening, you guys. I don't know how many views we've been getting. It doesn't really matter because we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love this, and we appreciate everyone.
Also, oh my god, we almost forgot. Shout out to Ryan. I don't know if she's even listening to this.
Oh, Ryan, yeah.
I don't even know if she's, like, listening still, but, yeah, she was put on her, like, Snapchat story, like, shouting us out, and that was very sweet. Yeah. Because we got, like, 8 subscribers after that, which was super cool.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Ryan. I don't know if you're still listening. We know that you're not into podcasts, so that was really, really sweet of you. Anyway. Yeah. Also, Kylie. Kylie from musical theater, from drama, from It's Okay. She listens to every episode.
And so does Anna.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was hanging out with her in the band in Calgary, and she was like, your podcast is awesome. I love it. Listen to all the episodes. I was like, thank you. So thank you to everyone.
Oh my god, it's incredible. It's the people that we go to school with, and they're just so, like, sweet about it. Anyway, like, subscribe, share the
Yes,
SheBangs Podcast.
please.
We need the views.
We just said we don't care about the views.
We need the ads sent. We need ads. We need sponsors.
If we need ads, we need to stop swearing in the
Oh
first
my God.
10 minutes of the video so we don't get demonetized.
Okay. Thank you for listening.
Guys.
We'll see you soon.
And we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry.